Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, one of the great venues in all of college football and home to the Tennessee Volunteers. And this crowd knows that when the balls run through the tee, they are in for a show. This matchup today, part of the lifeblood of the sport. A rivalry game where the results will be remembered for a lifetime. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Florida Gators, taking on the fourth-ranked team in the land, the Tennessee Volunteers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Gators will kick it away to start us off. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. The Volunteers offense will have the first possession of the game. And the adrenaline is pumping on overdrive in games like this, guys, and it's crucial to get your emotions under control.
No doubt. In rivalry games, you've got to limit the mental errors, and you've got to limit the penalties, because those will kill you, Pollard.
And you got to come out under control. It means so much. We know that. The fans are all talking about it, but it's just football.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away. They have had to wear that beat down since the last time these two met, Jesse.
And they've been talking about it for a long time. They were absolutely embarrassed. The players, the coaches, the fans. You know, David, coming into this game this time, they want to put out a much better performance.
Oh, there's nothing worse. The coaches are riding you all week leading up into this game, reminding you,
Underneath toasted coverage, got it deep downfield. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. Just got to get him to the ground quickly.
Got a man. It's Gathers. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. The Volunteers headed quickly to the line.
Oh.
He'll set up to throw. He's got it, and he will score. Touchdown ball. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game.
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So Florida's offense will go to work for the first time today. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to...
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
And that is the way you set the tone, man, early and often. Here in the first quarter, getting your first sack. Nice job by this defense. They had 4 last week, and it's looking like today.
How about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. And down he goes back at the 3.
Well, the defense has the opponent backed up in their own end, and they are pinning their ears back, getting after the quarterback. You see the athleticism and the speed they have up front as they're able to notch that sack.
And the Gators send out the punt unit. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He's got great speed. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them in.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got it at the receiver position, so if you've got one-on-one matchups, man, take advantage.
Got his man on the right. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. That was a nice pickup, running the drag route and finding that quiet, soft spot in the zone.
Yeah, drag routes not only work against man coverage, they work against zone too. If you can find the soft spot and the quarterback gets it to him early, he can turn upfield, and you saw that.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Volunteer!
And coming into the game, you look at the stats and you say top 10 offense in scoring, so they better be able to create what? Explosive plays. Another explosive plays. They've been doing it all year long. Those plays are backbreakers. Defenses just can't contain this offense.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
This offense really needs to get something going. Hunt on the opening drive, and now a 3rd and 10 coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game. But finally now, you see they're generating this pass rush. 3 sacks on the game so far.
He gets a block. He was able to get that ball up to the 48-yard line before he stopped on the return. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking every...
What a snag by the defense. Not a lot on the return, but they can live with that as they've got it at the 49.
How about that? I mean, they knew this defense was good defending the pass, but that had more to do with who's in the secondary, not necessarily who's up front. David, his best Pollock impersonation, picking that one off.
Yeah, baby, you don't get many opportunities to drop in coverage. You don't get many balls thrown your way, but when you do, you want to make sure you take advantage, showing off the athletic ability, showing the hands. The big defensive lineman comes up with the INT.
Got 3 on 1st down and 2nd and 7. The give from the gun. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
What this defense is about, it's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
And the defense gets to the quarterback.
And giving up 3 sacks a week ago. Now you've already given up 4 sacks. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback. Give him a little bit more time.
The Gators will try to pin them back with the punt. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big
grab on the right. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. That is a highly efficient way to move the chains, and now they are threatening inside the 40. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
And third and long, everybody is pinning their ears back and coming after the quarterback. You try to throw screens behind those. Sometimes they're very successful, but this time, defense played it great, and the play went nowhere.
Fires into traffic, intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it, squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always remember your first interception.
And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they built a lead.
And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing his defense on third down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Makes his connection. Just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage. The Gators will bring the punt team onto the field. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. On first down, here comes this offense. He'll ride his man on the option. He'll toss it. Fights off a defender. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Off play action. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. That's the end of the quarter, and Tennessee has the lead. Really strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look at the stats. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. They've changed ends of the field, now facing third down as they go back to work. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Fires to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it, and they're short of the first down. On second down, he's looking downfield. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
And the defense gets a huge play. I'll tell you, they've been wreaking havoc in this one so far. They've got so many athletes up front on this defensive line. It kind of reminds me about...
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught! Touchdown, Tennessee! No midseason concentration laps here in Week 7 as they push out that lead.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the finisher coming on that 42-yard touchdown toss. And he takes this from inside the 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now. Defense giving up points on that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score. And Jesse, probably score pretty quick.
Yeah, you got to go tempo. You're going to have to try to fit in as many plays as you can throughout the rest of this game. But I think more than that, you got to eliminate the negative plays. No more penalties and no more turnovers.
They'll line up for a second down play. The give on the inside. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down.
Holding. Offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Line getting set on second down. He's looking to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chains. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Gators decide to punt it away. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He's brought down, but there's also a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. So the offense keeps this drive alive thanks to the roughing the punter penalty. The RPO, fire complete to the left. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Comes out throwing on first down. He makes the catch. Across the 25, he's got room. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Florida!
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the time to be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical. Aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. And the returner will be brought down. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
Yeah, and welcome to modern college.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. He was lurking, waiting for his opportunity, and like a gator in the swamp, he went into the roll and got that quarterback.
They did. I tell you what, when you want to be dominant in this league, if Florida wants to get back to being a dominant team, it's got to be guys like this in the trenches dominating football games.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he goes down right there. That play's going to lose yardage.
Well, they weren't able to gain a lot of real estate on that last completion deep down in their own end. If anything, if you're looking for a silver lining, I guess the punter maybe has a little bit more room to try to get one off now on 4th.
Boy, that seemed to be prime return territory, but instead he'll set the offense up with great field position. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They cut into the deficit the last time they had it, forced the punt, and now they can really make this a game.
And you're right back in this thing. You're creating some momentum. You got the score. You got the stop. This offense, Jesse, has a chance now to make this an absolute barn burner of a ball game.
Yeah, it's one play at a time, though, right?
And they're on him immediately. Down goes the quarterback.
This quarterback is thinking to himself, I need to get an NIL deal at some restaurant so I can take my offensive line out and feed them more, because I don't think they like me very much right now. I've been sacked 6 times in this game.
Unleashes one deep. And that one is picked off in the end zone. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They're going to open this drive with a pass. They'll run the screen. Not able to break the big one on that screen to the running back, but he found enough and a solid pickup on first down. Run the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And the Vols get the first down. As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Looking to move it through the air. Safe completion on the screen. Brought down at the 47, but not before he ripped off 15.
Man, this quarterback is having himself a day. Over 200 yards in the first half. It was hard enough for Palmer to get over 200 in the game, more or less in the first half.
And the Volunteers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Going up top on first down. Firing to the right, complete. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. New set of downs after that completion. Wants to throw on first down. Lets it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Looking to throw it again. Trying to get to it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
Well, obviously, at this point in the first half, the defense is finding themselves in a hole. You just get the feeling if they're going to get back in this, they're going to need more plays like that. They're going to need sacks. They're going to need turnovers. They're going to have to create negative plays to get themselves some momentum.
Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. What do? You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
And it's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been on par. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Not a lot of time left here in the half. Let's see if they can cut into this lead.
And this drive isn't a must score, but man, you look at the scoreboard. You're down 2 scores. Jesse, you got a good opportunity. Create some momentum. Cut it to a 1-score game. This is an important possession.
Yeah, it's important to create that momentum now, Dave, too, and not wait to get it going here at the start of the third quarter. You've got one drive here to get a couple of points. You've got to start racing and chipping away at this deficit. This could be where the game turns right here.
Here comes this home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. The Gators will line up to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. He'll come out throwing on first down. He's right on target. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. The Vols want to pick up the tempo. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to him. The sure hands, it's Gathers. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. He's looking to throw it. That's caught. It's Arnold. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. And he just continues to put up numbers, and that number is now over 300.
This guy just throws completions, man. The ball doesn't seem to touch the ground. He's back there. He's making the right reads. Right now, he is locked in what this defense is trying to do.
They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for one or two more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Quarterback extends the play. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. On second down, looking to throw. Dances away to buy time. Lets it fly. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. And the defender is tackled, and that's how we'll run out the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update.
Fellas, what an environment there today. All the animosity and flat-out hatred that comes with a good old-fashioned rivalry game on display in that first half. And I get it. A lot of coaches will say the difference between winning and losing comes down to stopping big plays and getting big plays. But if you ask me, it's more about how good you are on third down and how efficient you are in keeping drives alive. Those two stats can help you break the will of even the best defenses and help you come out on top. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Thanks for that halftime report, Kevin. The Volunteers will line up to kick off and start the second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Down 2 possessions to start this third quarter. They'd love to build some early momentum.
You ain't lying, because you only got so many possessions here in the second half, so now you're down.
And a sack all the way back at the 5.
You have to imagine the game plan in the second half. Being down, I got to come out and throw the football successfully, but how about this offensive line? They don't do their job. They don't protect their guy, and the defense setting the tone right out the gate.
He leaves it with his back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Got his man quickly. Open space at the 25. And on that completion before the defense brings him down. The Gators will hustle to the line. Caught in the backfield, it's O'Neal. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
They'll run it from the gun. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. Guys, this offense is already reeling down multiple possessions. Really need to cash in on this drive. On third and long, try to convert through the air. He's got it. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. And the Gators are marching down the field. He'll do it himself. Really nice run there. Good, solid pickup, and they'll move the sticks with a first down. The Gators come to the line with a new set of downs. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside.
Listen, that wasn't the greatest run in the world, but it was very successful and you're making me honor the run. And another thing, every time you run the football, someone gets tackled. There's physicality involved in the game. So I like when offenses commit to the running the football, no matter what the outcome is, because those body blows do add up.
Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. He's going to pass. It's complete. And that's where they'll mark him, but a very productive play, and they'll move the chains. This offense trying to quieten the crowd on 1st and goal, and they are not cooperating. Getting some heat. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And you try to catch him off balance, maybe on 1st down and goal right here, a situation where maybe you sneak in a pass, defense was ready, got the sack. Now you got to be a little bit more creative now that you got the negative play. The offense, I know you've worked this all week. You got to get ready to execute in the red zone.
Not much running room. He's got one down to the 12.
I think one of the keys to this defense's success all season has been how good they've been stopping the run. They are a top 10 unit when it comes to rushing defense, and it's helped them out this year down in the red zone.
Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Touchdown, Gator! And the comeback is on. That was an absolute sledgehammer of a drive, just taking the air out of the ball.
And it's hard when you run that many plays not to make a mistake and throw an interception or get penalties and put you in a bad spot. But the offense just strung play after play after play together and got in the end zone.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. That last drive was a punch in the gut, throwing the pick in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, and it just seemed like there was some miscommunication down there in the red zone. David, this drive, the QB and receivers just have to do a better job being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think you pull the positives, right? We moved the football down the field. We had a chance to score, but we can't let those opportunities slip between our hands. Let's go get some points.
Quarterback flips it ahead quickly to the receiver. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. And how about this lower intestinal fortitude? 4th and 1 in your own territory, and they're going. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Hey, man, 4th and 1 at any part of the field is risky to go for, especially when you're in your own end of the field. What they did, it was a good play call. I like them being aggressive, especially after getting that first down.
Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They can really be aggressive after that last play. It's 2nd and 3. From the gun, he leads it with the back. And the Vols get it past the sticks.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. After the run, now to throw. And the quarterback is snowed under.
Another sack by this defense, but how about this QB? He continues to get back up every single time, still leading his team, still staying positive, still putting them in a good position to win this football game.
Using the quick game. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. That's the end of the quarter, and Tennessee has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Coming after him. And he tried to make something happen with his feet, but they stopped him short, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
You know, I think that was nickel right there, and I do like bringing in an extra DB. Why? Not only can that guy cover in the slot, but he can also blitz. You can kind of disguise and hide what you're doing because you got more guys that can really rush the passer or cover in the back end. So nice disguise, nice play.
And they are stopped on fourth down. That decision will be questioned. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. And they got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
They'll try to pop the draw. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. The Gators will send out the punt unit. And these guys have been busy. Sixth punt of the day. Gets it away, solid distance, but more importantly, trying to keep it away from that return man. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On first down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
Now inside 4 minutes to go here on second down. Wide receiver now comes in motion. With jet sweep pass. A solid run there as he'll be marked down at the 15-yard line.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Offense facing fourth down.
Quarterback will keep it. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on fourth down?
Fuck out of here.
First down for this offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now. If you're the play caller, certainly if you're the quarterback, then you're going to have time to throw.
Third down, and this crowd is tearing the lid off this place. To the ground to try to move the chains. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. And here we go, down to score. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and they desperately needed to keep that drive going, and they couldn't make the connection.
And it's such a good job by this defense. This offense is trying to find a spark, trying to get back in this football game. They're trying to be aggressive.
Looking deep. Snags it down the right side. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at him. Not much there on the line. He gets 1 to the 31.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time. On that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
He wants to pass it on second down. They're working that left side. Makes the catch, and he's brought down. We have arrived at the 2-minute warning, a one-possession game as this offense tries to hold on. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. Quarterback checking the play. On third down, going up top. Catch in the middle, it's Mars. He gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line. A terrific catch and run before he stopped. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And as they come to the line, they have the lead, and they have the clock on their side. 1st and goal. Fast motion from the offense. Quick touch pass to the receiver. And he's wrestled to the ground.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. If they can get it into the end zone here, they can really turn up the heat in this one. 3rd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. The clock is on their side. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. And the field goal unit stays put. They will try to deliver the haymaker and deck them with a touchdown on 4th and goal. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. They've got him pinned back, and they're trying to rattle their eardrums. Listen to this crowd. Unloads to the wideout. Complete to the left. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. Looking to go up top on 1st down. Got his man in the middle.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the end route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
Wants to fire on 2nd down. He looks that one in nicely. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. Trying to get everybody set with the clock still running. They're going to throw it again. And this senior quarterback a little too bold there, and he's lucky he didn't get picked off throwing into double coverage. And the incompletion brings up a 2nd down for this offense. He's looking to throw. They're bringing heat. And that's just a flat misfire, not even close to his receiver.
Well, this defense is going to need a few plays now to get some of this momentum back. Remember, they had a massive lead earlier in the game, but that's dwindled now. You wonder if they were just sleepwalking a little bit. They've got to step up now.
And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. He lofts one down the sideline. And that ball is intercepted at the goal line. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back to its own.
And that's a backbreaker. It's 4th down, though. Listen, you got to throw the football. You got to try to make a play. But the defense came up big in a big moment.
It's a draw. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. And the Volunteers want to move quickly. dialing up a second down pass play. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's fourth down.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the fourth quarter.
And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. Couldn't order better field position for this offense. To the air on first down. Deep shot for the end zone. And it's incomplete, and the final drive comes up empty, and the ball game is over.
You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, oh, is that sweet.
It's glorious. To be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media, it's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games starred. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
It really did. We saw some great individual efforts in this game by the winning team, too. So cool to see some of these players that have had terrific collegiate careers make some of the biggest plays of their lives in this game, in a rivalry game that just means so much. This was a fun one to call.
That's going to do it for